All right, welcome to Flippin' Dudes, everyone. Thanks for jumping into our show tonight. I'm your host, Jason, but you probably already know that, and I'm with my co-host, Chris. So thanks for jumping in. Chris, welcome to the show tonight.
What's up, Jason? What's up, everyone else out there? I can't speak today. I'm tired today.
It's a
I'll
mouthful.
be honest. I'll probably be a fumbling fool the whole show.
Well, that's a mouthful to say anyway. So we got Trisha in Central Illinois, a reseller already. So first two in. Thanks, guys, for jumping in, and we're looking to have some fun tonight. I do have a couple announcements, Chris, before we get rolling, but why don't I do those after you tell us what this show is all about?
Sure. Well, welcome everyone to Two Flippin' Dudes. This is a show about reselling by resellers. We do the show for three reasons. A, we really love flipping and reselling. B, we love talking about this stuff. And C, we hope that you walk away from this episode and really every episode with a couple little tidbits that you can use to grow your business or even launch your business. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight. And Jason, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you, Chris. Well, that's what we're all about, guys. And if you've been watching us, you know that. You know what this show is all about. So I won't tell you anything else. Chris did a great job. But yeah, if you do have a question, you know the drill. Go ahead and put it in the chat and we'll get to it. We love your questions. We say this every week, but honestly, this is what makes the show. Being able to interact with you all, being able to meet you where you're at. And if you have any questions at all, I don't need to say anything else. Put those in the chat. Howdy from Yakima. Hello, Nick and Renee. Welcome to the show. I do have a couple of announcements that I want to say just real quick before we get into showing some items that we've thrifted lately. First of all, please help us out and hit that like button. It's really quick and it helps others see our channel. And second, we'll be announcing next week. This is important. Next week, we've got a special guest who I will tell you about at the end of the show. So if you want to find out who that's going to be next week, you got to stick around till the end of the show. And then lastly, I want to say thanks to those that may be jumping in who are new. So if you are new, let us know that you're watching for the first time. And even if you're watching the recorded version after this is live, thank you so much for watching. So that's all I have for us tonight, Chris, as far as announcements go.
I'm excited about that guest. I know who it is. I know Jason's not telling y'all yet, but I know who it is. And boy, I couldn't tell you how excited I
am. We've got Jeremy shouting out our beards here. We've been, working on our beard game. So that's our commonality there. Besides our hats, our beards. So anyways, Chris, well, I said we're going to show some items that we're going to thrift, and we will. But first of all, or items that we have thrifted, but I want to hear how your week has been going. First of all.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing to note is, today is April 1st. So in addition to it being April Fool's, it's an opportunity to look back at the month behind. So I spent a lot of time in my spreadsheet and kind of looking at sales and sell-through rates from last month. And long story short, March was the best month I've had since I've been a reseller in terms of number of items sold, dollars sold, total profit. It was just a killer month, and I'm really grateful for it. And it's nice to see some of that hustle paying off during some of those leaner months where things weren't really selling in January, especially February. So March was like a big boon to me. So that's kind of where my head's been at today, is just I've been looking through the numbers and just kind of like looking back at the hustle and looking at, wow, this stuff's actually selling now. Because no matter what, when you're an entrepreneur, you believe it, you have to believe in yourself, right? To take that leap and do this sort of thing, right? But there's always that little doubt that creeps in, like, wait a minute, am I crazy? Is this going to work out? Are sales going to pick up, right? Even though I know it, and I say it every week, I say it on this show, that things are going to turn around, that vaccines are happening, that consumer confidence is up, all those sorts of things, right? Retail months are picking up right now. People are coming out of lockdowns, in many states across the country. So sales are going to get better. And I say it all the time, but gosh, it's different when you can actually see it on that spreadsheet and in the bank account.
Yeah.
So really excited about that. What are you seeing on your end? Anything like that?
Yeah. March was, significantly higher, about 25 to 30% higher than February was for me. So, that's always a bonus when things go up from the last month. And, it's kind of expected. This is the time when things start to pick up, which that as well. But it's just kind of weird, Chris. It's kind of hard to see, like, once this COVID thing has lifted fully, once life is back to mainly what it was before. I don't know what will be different or not, but it's just kind of weird to know like how much has been affected by COVID. I'm really hoping that we see just another big lift in April compared to March. But it's kind of weird to know because we're in unprecedented times, and I know we talk about this every week, but it's just hard to know how much is it impacting our sales compared from year to year or month to month. So
I'll tell you what, I'm not a soothsayer, right? And I don't have a crystal ball out in front of me. I did not find a crystal ball at a garage sale or a thrift store this week, but I'm telling you, I think April is going to be better than March. And I think May is going to be even, perhaps even better than April. I mean, I think that's where we're at right now.
I really hope you're right. So, tonight or today, I should say, April 1st has started out okay. It hasn't been outstanding, but it's just one day, and this is a game of averages. So hopefully the next few days as we head into the weekend, we'll get a little better and get a little lift here. But Chris, one thing that I am excited about, which again, we've talked about this as well too, yard sales, which for you, that's a weekly thing for you if you want. But for me, I went to my first yard sale last Friday. There was a community yard sale. They had like 7 homes. I was kind of in my mind, it was going to be bigger than what I showed up, but I wasn't, even though I only went to like 4 or 5 homes. It was nice to get out again. It was a beautiful day. It was sunny. It was like 60. I got to talk to people at yard sales and ended up walking away with like 9 or 10 items. So that's honestly what makes this job so much fun, is when you have days like that. I just wish I had them more like you do.
Well, pretty soon, it just gets so hot so soon here. So pretty soon, actually, garage sales will slow down for the peak of summer, just because it's just too hot. Even at 7 o'clock in the morning, it'll be too hot to really be outside and doing that sort of thing. So right now is kind of like the peak now and next month, and then it will start getting really hot. So
yeah.
If you can remember too, in Denver, it used to just get so hot. As the sun's just so hot in Denver. So in the summertime, by the time 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock rolls around, I mean, it's just so darn hot. I mean, green and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, yard sales really wrap up pretty early too. So it's funny when I hear about people from other states and they talk about yard sales going all day long, things going like 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. I'm like, I don't even see how that could happen. It's just too hot,
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember, I'm thinking back like 2 years now during Denver days when I would drive around every Friday around March, April. I mean, I would leave at 7, be out from like 8 until I was really hungry. And so that would dictate like, all right, did I get a big enough haul? I'm hungry. Let's go home. But 3 or 4 hours of yard sailing, I mean, being outside that long, it's fun, but it can get exhausting too, being out for that long, walking around, looking up stuff. And so I would definitely go back in a heartbeat and take those days though.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go ahead and show some items that we found, because I've got some pretty unique pieces that are unique to me, and I'm curious what you have as well.
I got some cool stuff. I'm excited about it. You want to go first or me?
Yeah, why don't you go for it? I see some pretty neat pieces behind you on the table back there.
Yeah, let's roll with some of this then. So first, this is kind of fun. And actually, let's see if I can turn it on. So Leonardo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's not super vintage or anything. I think it's 2014. So it's a modernish toy. But let me turn it on.
It's time to change my batteries.
Batteries are low. Apparently.
We're the Turtles of Justice. Prepare to dish out the mighty wrath of justice.
Just a fun little toy, and this is the first sale that I stopped at. $2 on the top of it, in
nice.
At thrift stores around here, at least we don't get a chance to negotiate, so it's fun. Like, got my first negotiation in a while. Like, hey, would you do $1 on it? Boom, got the $1. I mean, it's probably an $8 or $10 toy in all honesty, but it's fun. Sometimes, just picking up something that's fun and not making a lot of money is okay with me when it's like that.
Dude, I was just reminiscing on like childhood toys, and that was one of my favorite toys as a kid were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that one particularly, the Leonardo, was my favorite of the 4. So
that's awesome. Yeah, he's missing his swords unfortunately, but
oh man,
Leonardo's the one with the swords, right? But
Yeah,
That was
that's
actually
it.
my favorite video game, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game that came out, or sorry, the
For
arcade game, right?
the arcade game. Yeah, I remember that.
So I used to go to Dairy Queen and on Second Ave in Manchester and get some ice cream and play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. That was the best as far as I was concerned. That was before like Mortal Kombat and Street
Man.
Fighter. That was right before all those.
Yeah, that was Pizza Hut for me. Pizza Hut had that arcade. So Friday nights was golden.
I think Pizza Hut was Galaga for me.
Oh, really?
That was the big game at Pizza Hut. No, was that Pizza Hut? That was Papagino's. I don't know if you had.
I don't know
in your neck of the woods. I think that's a Northeast thing.
Let me show you an item I got. That this was a yard sale item. It's actually on the shelf here. I debated making this my coolest find. I went between two, and I asked my wife. I said, "All right, between the two, which one is the coolest pick?" She told me. So this one didn't make the cut, but check this out, dude. This was a garage sale find. Beauty and the Beast in the box. And I would show you, but it's so small you won't be able to read it. But it's 1992. Nice. Brand new.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so this thing was like super dusty, had dust all over it. I had to take a rag to it, clean it up. But the first sale I came up to, this lady had this one, and she had another doll, which I may show you in a sec. Both new in the box, both from the 90s. And, that was kind of the only thing at that sale that I was interested in. I said, "How much do you want for them?" She said, $10 a piece. And I was the only one there, so I couldn't really look it up or anything. I mean, they were just staring at me. And so I was like, okay, I'm kind of going blind here. If I can get that for $5, no. If I can get both for, yeah, that's what I said. If I can get them both for $5 each, I'll take them. I offered her 10. She came down to 15. And I just thought, I'll offer one more time. If she doesn't take it, I'll just leave. And so she took it. $10 for both, $5 on that guy, which there's a sold comp for about, I think 55 plus shipping. So
right on. And people are loyal to that movie too.
Oh gosh. And I feel like if you can find like Disney new and older, like vintage pieces, it's definitely going to be a win.
I sold a Beauty and the Beast, like kids end table. I guess it wasn't really kids. It was an end table that was Beauty and the Beast, and it had Beauty on it. And I sold it. It had some. It was kind of rough. I don't say it's rough, but it had some wear on this end table. And I listed it for $50 on Facebook Marketplace a few weeks ago, and someone came and bought it for the full 50. They didn't even try to negotiate or anything. And it was funny because it sat for like 3 weeks, and then this person came and like offered full price for it. I was like, okay, I probably would have taken half that because it just sat. But then when she came to pick it up, she talked about she's like, I love Beauty and the Beast. I have so much stuff from that movie. I can't walk past anything. Anytime I see anything, I just buy it. I was like, okay, cool, noted. I'll find more.
It always kind of blows me away when people are selling stuff like this, and I'm like, you got to know that's worth some money. I mean. And you're just like, whatever, a few bucks, I'm not walking up to mansions. So it's not like it's people who don't need money. Obviously, it just kind of blows my mind. So
Sharon says she just sold a Bell mug too. So Beauty and the Beast is hot.
Yeah.
Perhaps more importantly, Colts Comics mentioned that plush looks like Chris walking up to a garage sale. I'll tell you what, at 7 in the morning, I think the Beast might look a little bit better than me.
Let me show you the second piece that I found with that, because I told you I paid for two. Do you remember this guy from Looney Tunes?
Yes, Sylvester, right?
Sylvester, and it's apparently it says squeeze me, but nothing happens, so it needs new batteries. It doesn't even tell me that needs new batteries. But this is from 1994, obviously still in the box. Again, this was really dusty. So $10 for both those pieces that I should get close to 100 when they're all sold.
Dang, those are awesome finds, man, and that makes me nervous about the game later. If you didn't feature either one of those for the game,
here's the deal. Angela, that's like her favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast. And so I said, babe, no bias, but this piece or the other? And she was like, the other. I'm like, wow. Okay. That's a lot.
I'm in trouble.
We'll see. We'll see.
Let me see. Let's go.
While you're looking, Trisha says, just sold a Tweety Bird plush this week. Nice.
Nice. Let me pull this down. It's no secret that this is one of my favorite brands, maybe my favorite brand to resell.
Territory Ahead. Look at that shirt, man.
But isn't that beautiful? Have you ever seen one? It's pearl snaps.
Oh, I love that. I would wear that. I'd rock it.
And guess whose size it is?
Nice. Well, why aren't you wearing it for tonight, Chris? You could have just been like, check this out.
That's true. I didn't think about that. I still need to wash it, but I took a chance on it. It had like 3 stains on it, and it was the type of stains that was like, I'm pretty good at like eyeballing shirts and figuring out, can I get a stain out or not? And I was like, I don't think I can get those 3 out, but I think I could still get $20 plus shipping for it because it's pearl snaps. It's just a beautiful color, right? And took a shot in it, and I pulled them stains out.
Really? With
kind of surprised. I keep looking at it. I'm like, maybe one of them I need to like attack one more time, but it's under the flap. But yeah, I pulled the stains out. I'm super surprised. So
was that grandma's spot remover that you used, or how did you get it out?
Grandma's spot remover, a little hot water, and like a stiff poly brush that I use, and popped right out. So one of them I might need to attack it again, but it's really, really faint right now. So it should be out. But yeah, then I'll throw it in the wash and I'll probably rock that. Maybe if it's still around next week, maybe I'll rock it for next week's show. But in my experience, Territory Ahead does not stick around in my store very long.
And that's a great brand, but even that piece is very unique for that brand. So I mean, pearl snaps isn't something they do quite a bit. So
if I look right now, every time I look, I'm always surprised. But I bet you I don't have any Territory Ahead in my inventory and I find it all the time. It just moves. Oops.
Sharon says she uses Dawn dish soap to get out stains.
I use Dawn as well. If Grandma's doesn't work, I'll go to Dawn. Or sometimes if I know it's a rough stain, I'll do both. Like I'll just do Grandma's, attack it, and I'll right after it do Dawn. And I lied. I have like 7 Territory Ahead shirts in my inventory.
But they're not pearl snaps. They're not a Western looking shirt.
That's true. I do have an Aloha, like a Hawaiian style shirt, which is that's probably another super unique one. But that's interesting. I take that back. I have a bunch of Territory Ahead. So if you're shopping, and they're priced pretty good.
If you're the Territory Ahead buyer, just go ahead and snatch them all. You can give them away to friends and family. Let me show you this piece I have behind me. Since we're going with clothes that are hanging next, Chris, you'll appreciate this brand because you kind of popped on it last time I had this, but Nike SB.
Oh, nice.
But this is like I don't find Nike SB, especially in clothing, that much. It's very rare. And I'm not a huge Nike person when it comes. I leave a bunch of Nike, but stuff like this, the SB. And what makes this shirt unique is you can't really tell this, obviously, from my video, but it's lined. So it's like a heavier flannel shirt. And then check this out. You'd think like buttons, right? But it's not. It's just a flap with a zipper. So pretty sweet, huh?
What are you thinking on that thing?
There were I looked up Nike SB lined shirt, and there were only 2 sold comps. So both of them were between like $50 and $70 for used.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I only paid $4 for that. I mean, it was just a full price shirt sale for me at a thrift store. So
that's awesome. Good. And I'll probably move fast because there's probably nothing listed, right?
Yeah.
No competition. So you're the king of finding new with tags clothes, I feel like, at thrift stores. But here's a rare time where I actually found new with tags. You can probably see.
Whoa, I like that. Yeah.
I'll bring it in a little closer. It's Orvis. It's Sherpa lined, and it's a size large, but brand new with that tag. It's actually a new tag, a new model one too. So nice little, I mean, this is a sharp item. If I didn't live in Florida and I was a size large, I'd consider keeping this thing, but I haven't even comped it yet. I think my gut tells me $70. I actually did on TikTok. I was live thrifting on Wednesday yesterday and pulled that thing right at the end of the live show. And I asked, somebody said that they went and comped it and they said $70 for it, but
wow,
that sounds about right to me. Like,
yeah.
Maybe a little higher, maybe 79 since it's new with tags. But
Chris, I'm That's so funny because I just pulled one of that same shirt or that same sweater from, or it looks very similar, from Denver.
Oh.
And I just listed it, but it's a 2XL. So I'm glad that we're not competing because I've got mine.
Tags also?
What's that?
New with tags also?
It's not new, but it's just a fleece line, which I think yours is like that fleece or Sherpa line. Is that
Yeah, it's fleece, but it's like
like a heavier fleece?
like a Sherpa fleece.
Yeah, that's what mine is exactly. But it's 2XL. I've got it for someone pays full price for $58 right now. So I think you're right on with that, like $70 to $80 mark.
You know what's funny is a lot of people, I think instinctively, I think that a new with tags item is gonna like double the price or like significantly increase the price. To me, it tends to be something like that. Like it tends to be like 10, 15, maybe 20% more for something new with tags versus used. Sometimes the new with tags game, especially like retail arbitrage, which I played with a lot in 2020 because I couldn't go to thrift stores or garage sales because those weren't happening, right? And I was surprised at how, you know, how much less new with tag stuff would go than the identical items used. It's kind of nuts, you know?
Yeah, because if you think about it, you know, like stuff that we're looking for is typically more excellent condition. We're not getting something that's been worn and it's clearly got visible signs of wear. And so, you know, maybe that person that I bought from has only worn it like 5 times, whereas you bought it new, and there may not be that far of a gap, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that myself as well.
I'm like regularly surprised by it, even though I already know it. Like I'll go and comp something and I'll be like, wow, this is, you know, the new and used are so close. But
yeah,
I'll go with another piece right here. This is pretty interesting. I never found anything like this. So it's
that a Polo Ralph Lauren?
Yeah, Polo Ralph Lauren, right? It's a
2XL,
2XL, which is great. So if this was plain, I'd still buy it at that 2XL. But I've never seen one that had like the big. I guess that's a crane.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And I don't know what's some. I guess it's flowers there, and I guess that's flowers on the top there too. But
yeah, sweet piece. I mean, that'll sell fast.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I think to me, it's like if this was plain 2XL, I'd probably get like $26-$28 for it. And I think for me, it'll get a couple dollars more than that probably. Like maybe I'll get $30 for it, but it will just sell really quick, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that it will necessarily like bring the value up a ton. If it had like the bear, like the Ralph Lauren bear, and that's a little something different. People like look out for that.
Yeah, especially you can find like a hat or I look for hats like that with the polo bear.
I've never found anything with the polo bear on it. Not even.
Yeah, I haven't either. Maybe we're not in the right place or not at the right time or both.
Someone just woke up earlier than us or something.
Yeah. Well, we always tend to check in on Facebook, and I know you had a lot of activity today as far as getting stuff up on Facebook. So how are things looking for you on Marketplace?
Yeah, I'm actually, now that you mention it, somebody had mentioned, maybe it was you, that you don't really get a notification when something sells. And I have a bunch of stuff that's cross-listed. So I'm like now I'm sort of worried I'm going to miss something. But do you get a notification?
I don't, and I don't know if there is one. I basically will get an email that says, you know, you have a sale or you have a new offer.
Gotcha.
And it's a notification, but it's not, you know, sometimes it could be 15 minutes before I get that notification. It's not like a real-time cha-ching, which I wish, you know, maybe that's something they'll work into eventually, but.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's good. I just double check. I'm terrible at checking my emails, by the way, since I quit my full-time job, which was very email heavy. I'm just like throwing email out the window essentially. So I'm going to have to figure out a system for checking that or something, but I'm just looking at it right now. I listed 22 items on Facebook Marketplace today, which brings me up to 26 total listings. And everything I listed today, which was probably only 3 hours ago, I'm looking through, I have 0 listing views on all. Oh, I have one that has a pair of Jordans that has 14 listing views in just a few hours.
That makes sense.
A Starbucks mug that's got 3 listing views, and a pair of Seychelles, I might be saying that wrong, Seychelles women's heels that got 2 listing views.
Seychelles, I've never heard of that.
I picked up a couple of them at a garage sale 2 years ago. That I tried to focus on as I was listing on Facebook Marketplace, I was focusing on a few things, pretty much everything non-close. So that's the first filter for me. And I was looking for things that have been sitting around on eBay for a while, and hoping to try to get those things maybe to move better on Facebook Marketplace. So I have some women's shoes that have been sitting for a really long time, some sporting goods that I have like multi-quantity listings on eBay for, like snowboard tuners and these ski trainer things that I show on the show from time to time, and youth athletic supporters, right, that I have like a case of. So I'm like, all right, I might as well list those on multiple platforms. I got some Starbucks mugs, some mugs going on there. I got a vintage Sony like radio alarm clock. I threw some records up there to see like if records got attention, some rollerblades, some board games, some shoes, a Timbuktu messenger bag, which is sat on eBay for a few months now, which I'm kind of surprised about.
Mm-hmm.
Just some random collectibles, some kids' toys. So the only clothing item I put was a pretty unique Dolphins like polo shirt that I threw up there. But a lot of shoes, a lot of collectibles, games, toys, and sporting goods.
Trisha says that she gets a notification when something sells. Is that like a real time? What does that look like, Trisha? We're curious because Chris and I have said from the beginning, we're not experts on Facebook at all. And I'm sure there are people watching that are in the live right now that know more about Facebook Marketplace than we do. We consider ourselves eBay experts, but not Facebook. So we're still learning. And yeah, Chris, I like your strategy of getting stuff up just to see what is going to sell, what's going to be the market. Because I do remember you saying a couple weeks ago when we went live, think about that like 25 to 35-year-old range. What are those people buying? Because those are the most people, that's more of the age group that are on Facebook, are shopping. I mean, I threw up some hats today. So in total, I've got 77 listings I put up. So I started by just listing new things. So I listed probably 15 to 20 items that I got. And then I thought, well, why don't I go back into my store and find all the hard goods and non-clothing items and go ahead and start putting those up. So I've been putting stuff up from, older inventory. I put up on Tuesday, probably 30 listings, and 4 sold that night. I mean, within hours. 3 sold within 2 hours, and then 1 sold later that night from putting them up at like 3 p.m., 3:30. So, and one of those items was an item that had been sitting on Facebook or eBay for a year and a half and couldn't get any traction. And then bam, it just sells. So it was a DVD set, Dexter series, seasons 1 to 4. And so it's kind of interesting because I'm learning as well, like what are people looking for? And I listed, so I put some more stuff up today. I've got an Eddie Bauer like diaper bag, and it's got 70 views from this morning. So
Really?
I guess so. Yeah. But
a lot of those quarantine babies, I guess.
Maybe so. But I'm noticing that like China dishes, obviously clothing, these just don't get any traction. And it makes sense with like China and dinnerware sets if you're thinking that 25 to 35 range aren't looking for those things.
Gotcha. So you're not having luck with like China stoneware kind of stuff.
I've got like 4 or 5 listings, like some random mugs, some plates, and I've got like single digit views like weeks later, like 2 weeks later. So gotcha. I'm not really listing any more China on Facebook. I'm gonna leave those up, but yeah, I'm moving on with that.
That's good to know because I as I was scrolling through my listings, I came across some China. And I was like, well, I guess it's more stoneware, and I was gonna list it, but I was like, I'm gonna skip it and come back to it, and maybe I'll come back and list it later. But I'm glad I skipped it now because you're saying you're not having luck. Interestingly, these Jordans that I listed, that 14 listing views. That feels like a lot for. I'm like, you're way further along in this experiment than me. You got 77 items up. I got like 26, right? But is that a lot of listing views for just a few hours?
14 for a few hours. I mean, that seems on par, or maybe even subpar to eBay for Jordans. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, usually within an hour, like higher demand items are getting into the double-digit views for me.
Yeah, that's good to mention. They're Jordans, but they're like they're a bad model of Jordans. They're the Flight Clubs, which are notoriously bad. Actually, Ryan, who I believe is in the chat, was the one who told me I was excited about finding the Jordans, and he's like, "Yeah, those are Jordans, but they're They're flight clubs. So
They're not the model that you should have got.
which is why they've been sitting around for 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah. Terry says she's having luck with vintage china and glassware. Maybe that's the key, vintage. Whereas I've just got some random like dinner sets that aren't vintage. So something to keep in mind. Thanks for sharing that with us, Terry. We do appreciate your feedback for everyone watching. Chris, are you ready to play a flipping game?
Absolutely. Let's do it. So let's kick this thing off. We got 2 flipping dudes. We got 5 flipping questions. We'll have 1 flipping winner, but we need the flipping audience. I don't think I've used that before. We need the flipping audience to help us out with the 5th question. It's going to be based on an audience vote to determine the winner of the game. And actually last week, it was tied going into question number 5, I think for the first time, maybe second time going into the final. And I was your winner last week, pulled that one off by a fiddler. He's serving as my trophy or my right-hand man until he sells, of course. So let's kick this thing off with question number 1. And that is the biggest sale of the week.
Since you won last week, Chris, you are up first. Here we go.
Boom, there it is. Would you check out this sweet Pendleton jacket? I picked this thing up.
That guy finally sold.
Yeah, I picked it up in December at a thrift store. Paid $10 for it. It actually didn't have a price tag on it, and I brought it to the front. And I was really hoping. Sometimes they'll say if the price tag's off, they're gonna reprice it and send it back. I was like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And they were like, "How's $10?" And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be okay."
Just try and keep your composure.
Yeah, I was like trying to stay chill. I was like, anything under 40, I'll probably say yeah. And now that I think about it, I'll probably pay more than that. But this thing was just in flawless condition, which is amazing too, because it's definitely old, faux fur. That stuff doesn't hold up very well. It's hard to clean and all that. But this thing was perfect. I had it listed for $189, and I had it on sale for like in the 150s, and then my sale ended recently, and it jumped back up to $189. And it sold. I got an offer for $150 plus 15 shipping, so $165 all in for this jacket, which is just super awesome. Huge, over $100. I think $119 profit on that item too, which is just super cool. And this is one of those things. Like, this is why we thrift, y'all. Like, finding a piece like this. I mean, I just love this thing. I wish it was. I love that. I wish I wasn't in Florida.
That fur collar is so unique. It adds value to it.
Yeah. So I'm excited to have it go. It was kind of getting to the point where I was like, should I discount this by a lot and get rid of it before the winter? But I tell people all the time when they ask me, what about winter stuff? Is that, should I keep picking up winter stuff? And I say, premium winter stuff is going to sell every month of the year, including July and August. The mediocre stuff is going to slow down a lot. But to me, this is premium. Pendleton's a premium brand. It's vintage. Yeah. It's a super cool, unique piece. Stuff like this sells all year long. So I'm glad I held out and didn't mark this thing down. And honestly, the same buyer probably would have just come along no matter what at the right time and bought it. And if I brought it way down in price, that person would have bought it for $100. But I still would have had to wait for him,
You can't, even in the middle of summer, you can't pass on an item like that. Even if you're going to hold it until fall to list it, that's fine, but you just can't leave something like that at the store.
Hold that. It's got to set.
I wouldn't hold it either, but yeah. Well, Chris, I've got you beat this round on a sale that came in this morning.
That's awesome.
April Fools, dude.
Oh, I was like, man, I really brought the thunder with that one.
So I did make the sale this morning. I didn't have a 3-digit sale. Actually, I guess technically this one wasn't a 3-digit. I got $97 all in on these boots, but this was a Facebook sale. So yeah, $97 with shipping. And I don't remember how much I made, but I bought these for $30. So I would have profited around, I think $50 was my profit on those.
Wow.
So
that's a beautiful boot. I actually have a pair of Justin boots sitting about 5 feet away from me that they need a little bit of a polish, but they're not as nice as those. I'm expecting to get more like 40 for them.
Yeah, and those were, I mean, because they were new, I picked them up. They were men's 8.5, which I typically would pass by, but I'm like,
Oh, I missed the new piece. That was it.
yeah, they were new at 8.5. So it was kind of a weird, like, the new tags are obviously really good for this. The 8.5 may take some time to sell, so I'm happy to get that offer.
There you go. You had me though. I was kind of deflated when you said that you beat me on that. So I take round one. So Chris with team shirts 1, Jason team shoes nothing. Let's move on to question number 2. Biggest profit. This is why we do it. I mean, it's fun, but we're doing it to make some money. So here is my biggest profit item. Obviously, the Pendleton was my biggest profit item, but we cannot use 2 items for 2 different questions. Them's the rules. So I sold this Ralph Lauren, nice little gold button blazer sport coat piece here. I got let's see, what did I get for this? I got $46, including shipping, on an offer for this. So my profit was $26 on this piece. I paid $5 for it. So happy with that sale. Blazers are new to me. This is still an experiment for me. I guess we're past experiment stage, but I didn't pick up any blazers until the first of the year. And I've been selling about a blazer a week, I guess has been my pace. So pretty steady, 1 a week, every now and again, 2 a week. But so that here's my one for the week, $26 in profit.
Nice. And I have noticed those starting to slow down. I don't know if you've sold any besides that one, but it does seem like those are cooling off quite a bit.
I think it's going to pick back up though, too, because remember, things are about to happen, like weddings and conferences and things that haven't happened in a really long time, right? Where people have to actually put on a formal attire. And I think some people have changed sizes perhaps in the last year since they last.
They've been sitting at home on the couch in their computer with their computer.
Or maybe they've just been really, attacking the fitness routine and losing weight, right? But I think that a lot of people have gone through a lot of change in the last year.
Yeah. Well, here's my profit item. Picked these up about 2 weeks ago, these New Balance 990 V4. And this model is really one of the only New Balance shoes that I pick up. Those 990 V4s are just an awesome shoe, new, used. They just sell and hold their value. So I got a best offer of $75 all in on these. I paid $12 for them. Whoa. So that left me with profit of $46.73.
That's great. I'm actually shocked by that sale price. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've sold probably 4 or 5 shoes that same model, and that's probably the lowest I've gotten on those.
Write that down if you didn't already. Get your pen out or your marker. 996 New Balance right there. You saw me checking. I was like, hold on a second, wait a minute.
These 990. You want the 990?
Yeah. These are not. Don't write down 996. Write down 990. This is like a $30.
Yeah, I've sold those too. They don't go for as much.
But these things are like pristine. But anyway, you saw me checking. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I still would pick up that shoe you have. It just won't go for as much.
Yeah. I agree with you. So updated scoreboard there. Jason, team shoes ties it up. 1-1. Let's move into the fastest sale. This is a fan favorite, the fastest flip of the last week. And let me get my screen ready here. I'm ready. I think this is the second time that Brooks Brothers has made an appearance for me in the last few weeks with fastest sale, which is funny because Brooks Brothers tends to be sort of a medium to medium slow seller for me. But this one, I listed it last week. It sold in same day, 10 hours, 33 minutes. I got a offer, including shipping of $23. This one's not your typical Brooks Brothers like dress shirt. This is a flannel. So I did expect it to move a little bit quicker. That Regent keyword tends to help, by the way, too. So if you're picking up a Brooks Brothers shirt and it's a Regent, put that in your item title. But those tend to sell a little bit faster than me. But flannel definitely, I think, is why this one moved so quick. Even size medium, by the way.
So 10 hours and 33 minutes.
That is correct.
Chris, this is unbelievable. Let me just show you what I have for my fastest sale this week. Brooks Brothers.
Brooks Brothers. No.
Right around the same time as you.
That's awesome.
This, I mean, I don't ever find pieces like this, and
yours is a nicer piece. That's one of those like like Egyptian cotton made in Italy.
yeah.
job.
Do you see that Brooks Brothers woven in Italy? I've never seen that on a Brooks Brothers shirt. So, and that was like a really cool. I don't know what that pattern is. Whether that's, I don't think it's herringbone, but I'm not sure. Do you know? Can't really see it there.
It's hard for me to see.
It's got like those the really thin stripes that go in like opposite directions. But anyways, I digress.
I refer to that as herringbone.
Yeah, so this I sold within 11 hours and 23 minutes for so I didn't beat you on that, but I was off by like 50 minutes. That went for $44.83 with shipping.
I mean, I got the quicker flip, but I mean, you got the better sale and the better item on that one. That's awesome. I think that's the closest we've been in terms of
yeah.
There was one really maybe one of the early episodes. I think we had a really close one too, but this is episode 14 already. I can't remember that far back.
So Chris takes the 2-1 lead.
Updated scoreboard. Team shirts 2, team shoes 1. This is my favorite category. Category number 4, question 4, the slowest sale of the past week. I love getting rid of that old inventory that's been sitting around. So let me get this fired up here. Cool. So I picked up this brand new with tags, women's Nike Golf, New Amsterdam vodka, golf polo, synthetic, polyester, dry fit, kind of it's a more modern Nike style too. Nice color. I thought this thing would flip pretty quick. I picked it up on September the 13th of 2019. Finally sold it 563 days later. This was at a garage sale in Denver. I still remember that garage sale was a great community sale. The next sale I went to, I got a whole bunch of Guitar Hero stuff, by the way, that sold really fast for a ton of money. But anyway, this one did not sell very fast, but I got $21 including shipping for it, and it's gone. I still made a little profit on it. I'm surprised though. I thought like New Amsterdam is like, I don't know. I thought that was a popular vodka. It's a nice shirt. It's a decent size. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I branded Nike. Was that? Did you say Nike?
Yeah.
Fit. Yeah. I've sold those branded Nikes for about that price. I'm not sure why that sat for so long. But here's mine. This is a brand that you and I have talked about in the past. And I know some sellers out there have had luck with this brand, but not me. I do not pick this up. And every time I see it at the thrift stores, I'm like, really? I really want to pick this up. But here's why I don't. This guy, and I don't know if it's the color. Oh, it's men's medium. That's why.
There you go.
It's men's medium. That's the first thing I should look at. I bought this on October 10th of 2018, and it finally sold for a best offer of $15 all in with shipping. That was a total of just shy of 900 days, 896 days total.
Ugh, and if you got $14 including shipping?
Yeah, basically $15.
Yikes.
So, yeah, I mean, glad to see it gone. But the sad thing is I've got 2 more sitting right behind it, just sitting there. Very similar shirts.
I got to be honest with you. I did pretty well with Bukachi in 2020. I looked back at some stats. I think I checked this out just about a week ago because I knew I had some sitting. I sold 11 Bukachi shirts in 2020. And then I was looking in my last 90 days. I've sold 2.
Oh, wow.
And I have a lot of Bukachi in inventory. So
is that something you still will pick up if it's the right size?
I bought one last week, but it was like a 4X, and it was a synthetic. It was like a nylon polyester blend. So it was a pretty unique one. So I've been picking it up if they're 2XL plus. That's sort of what I've been doing the last few months. But yeah, I think looking at the facts, 2 in the last 90 days, and I have a lot in inventory. And if we got a second here. Yeah, we got a second. Let's get real. Like, let's talk about, we always talk about fast sales and big profits, but let's get real about, dude. All right. What's the guess? How many Bukachi items do you think that I have in my inventory right now? If you can get within 8, you're the winner.
I'm going to say 8.
Not even close. I have 34 Bukachis in my inventory right now. 34. And I have 2 sales in the past 90 days. So that's I'm not good at math, but that's not a good sell-through rate on that item.
Yeah. I mean, what would you say is your average price on a Bugatti or Bugatti?
I can look at, I can answer that two ways. I can look at what they sold for, and I can look at what I got them listed for. I have most of them listed for 22 to $23 plus shipping. So $27, $28 all in.
It's not bad.
Some of them are higher, and now I'm looking at some of those and like, that should not be $26.45. That should not be $25.30. That should not be $25.30. I think I just had a sale end recently, and I'm not restarting that sale. So I have some things that sort of boomeranged back or elastic banded back up to prices that aren't reasonable. Yeah, so there we go. I just discovered a problem. Go into your inventory, search a brand that you don't feel like has been selling, or maybe you think it's been selling, but sometimes it's hard when you get like 34 of an item. Like if one sells every 2 weeks, you're like, hey, it's selling, right? But you might look and say, well, 34 of these, I should be selling more than one every 2 weeks,
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the last round because we got a fight going on 2-2. It's going to come down to audience participation.
Shirts versus shoes. This one's for all the marbles. Question number 5. We're just talking about the best picks. So the last 4 questions are about sales. This one's about what we found over the past 7 days. We're going to need audience participation. So if you think Jason's item is the coolest, go ahead and put a J in the chat. If you think Chris's is the coolest, go ahead and put a C. Don't vote yet. Wait till we show you the stuff. That being said, this isn't just about money. It's just about the item that you think it's coolest. It can be about money, but it's just about what you define as the coolest pick. So I guess I'm going first, and I actually haven't decided what I was going to show yet. I don't think it matters. It sounds like you're pretty confident over there.
I don't know, Chris. Give me your best. It's always hard when you're deciding and you have to go first.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to move back my mic a little bit here. All right. Boom. So, Fair Isle Nordic print on a Ralph Lauren, which is like, yeah, that's a really cool looking piece, Chris. But if you zoom in there, you can see that that's 72% lamb's wool and 28% wool. So all wool, but mostly lamb's wool, a size extra large men's. This thing is selling $50 to $70 pretty consistently. This thing's in perfect condition, which is sometimes tough with wool because wool can show its age and get little holes in it. This thing is pristine. I got it listed this afternoon for $55 plus 10 shipping, and this is one of those items that it's heavy. It's a wintertime item, but this will sell. That would sell in July if I listed it because of that unique Fair Isle Nordic pattern on that. So that is my coolest find of the week. I had some other options, but that's my final answer.
So it is. I guess Nordic print. That's something you put in the title because that's a new keyword for me.
Yeah, I've had good luck with it. I've had some Orvis pieces that had that Nordic print. I actually learned today when I was looking at comps. I actually was going to list this for. I was going to list it for $40 or $45, and I looked at comps and saw that, wow, I should go higher. And I was seeing that a lot of them that had sold had Fair Isle in addition to Nordic. I already had Nordic in there, and then I went and added Fair Isle to it as a keyword. So if you have a piece like that, those are 2 great keywords. Of course, lamb's wool and wool are going to be huge keywords on there too, and 1/4 zip and mock neck. But anyway, the key there is Nordic and Fair Isle for that pattern.
Cool. Noted. Well, Jeremy's got a suggestion for you there in the comments.
Yeah, that would be another piece. If I was a size extra large and not in Florida, I would rock that piece.
All right, you ready for mine?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm scared.
Take a look at this. A Furby box.
Okay.
Have you ever sold a Furby box before?
No, I don't even. Is this April Fool's? What is this? What's going on? Oh, there it is.
Check it out. Still has the tag on it. This is an original 1998. I mean, it doesn't look like it's been played with at all.
Well, except for the hours that you've been playing with it since you picked it up.
I know. I haven't even tested it because I think I have to unscrew it to turn it on. I'm not sure even. I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, this thing is pristine. I've got the box here. Obviously, it's got the manual in there. It's got the Furby dictionary. I picked up 2 of these, Chris, at a yard sale, and I walked up and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she had them in the box. And I was like, how much do you want for those Furbies? And she was just like, did this like deep sigh, like, I really want to see those go. But she was like, how about $3 a piece? I was like, done, picking those guys up fast. So
that probably wasn't the number you were expecting her to come with.
I was thinking she's going to say 10 or 20. I mean, so I got this black one, which is the one I'm showing you, and then got the white one. But they both have the box, both have the manuals. They look like they've been sitting in the closet for 20 years. I mean, you did get this one.
Maybe you hadn't shown yours yet when they voted. But thanks, Ryan Dancing. Thanks, Nick and Renee. I appreciate that.
Jeremy, always spicing it up with your comments. We appreciate that. Yeah, this is what I look like after watching your videos.
I thought it was it looks like a gremlin. I guess I'm not even really sure what a Furby is. I just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, did you already mention what's that? I was busy updating the scoreboard. Did you mention what you think you're going to get for those things?
So I just listed those on Facebook earlier today. They're drafted on eBay, but I'd say conservatively $50, 50 to 60 with shipping.
Wow.
The ones that I'm seeing, like, there are a lot that are like different colors or special like editions, and this one's just obviously it's a first gen, but it's just a black Furby, and I listed it as used, excellent condition, even though the box is damaged. But like I said, it doesn't look like it's been played with at all. It's just been sitting on a shelf somewhere.
That's the smart way, I think, to do it on something like that too, because you don't want some like really specific collector, that's got to give you an item not as described on that. But that's a really cool piece. I don't even know where the scoreboard went. I threw it.
That's okay. We've been going back and forth lately, which is good. It's a lot better than you winning 3 in a row than me grabbing one every once in a while.
But I mean, I had filled this thing out before to be honest, one vote had come in. Who had voted? Ryan had voted, and I just said, you know what, it's got to be Jason. So I just filled that thing out right away, and then the votes, of course, started pouring in. But yeah, really cool find. That's really neat. I was going to go with this unit over here. Oh, this unit over here. This is a Sony undermount. Oh, there we go. So this mounts underneath your kitchen cabinet.
Oh yeah,
that's
TV
awesome. That folds down. Let's see if we can get this thing to fold down. There we go.
Flips around on the swivel.
Look at that thing, and it's got these built-in, like, pretty legit speakers. If you see those too. Yeah, there you go. And it's a CD player, RW, those old CD writer things. LCD TV, kitchen clock radio. Thing's pretty sweet. Picked that up at a garage sale. And I even got the remote too, which is sometimes rare with these vintage pieces. Anyway, kind of cool. I think this is like a $70 plus shipping item.
Was that a thrift purchase or a yard sale?
Oh, it was a yard sale, and I paid $20 for it, so I paid up for that. Typically wouldn't want to pay $20 really for something that might be broken that should flip for 70. But in this case, I knew the person who was running the garage sale. So they actually had it marked at $50. I was like, I'm not paying you $50 for that, but would you play with an offer? And I offered 20, and she's like, yeah, just take it. I mean, she knows what I do for a business and stuff, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you're not going to get $50 for that at a garage sale.
Yeah.
Not when you can buy it.
And that's not something you want to have stored in your garage after it doesn't sell. It's like, get it out, $20. That's dinner. Yep.
And then the funny thing is I bought it too. And it didn't have the remote, but they had texted me later that evening and said, hey, we got the remote. We'll drop it by. So that worked out nice too.
Nice. Well, before we reveal,
but I figured I'd go Nordic. Maybe I'd have a chance to catch some of the clothing peeps in the room. Maybe somebody would just love that sweater, like Carolyn Peace loves the sweater.
Before we go, before we announce our special guest, let's get our question of the night. Some of you have already started putting in answers, but what's something crazy that you found inside something you've thrifted or purchased at a yard sale? So you bought a piece, you got home, you opened it up, you looked in a pocket, and there was something else. What was it? So Chris, I know we've had time to think about this. I'll go ahead and share mine first. I've got two cases. One, I was at Goodwill and I was the first one in the store, and there was a $50 bill just sitting on top of a hood on a sweatshirt. I was just going, I'm like, is this a joke? Like, I looked around. So that wasn't technically something I found inside, but there was just in the hood, $50. So I put it in my pocket. And but legit, I bought a pair of ski pants at a yard sale. They were like kids, like girls, hot pink ski pants for, a few bucks. Got home, listed them, and then found $35 in the pocket, and those pants ended up selling for $35. So I made $70 on like a few dollar purchase. As far as finding money, I just don't have that much luck, but that was the one time I got home and found money in a pocket.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I've only found money once, and it was in a what was it in? It was in the top pocket of a dress shirt, and when I was buttoning up the shirt and kind of getting ready to photo, it fell right out. But the most interesting thing I found was this is just maybe a month ago, in a book. I found a piece, like a folded up few pieces of paper, and I unfolded it, and it was somebody's like termination paperwork from a job in like 1994. And I was like, it felt strange, kind of like opening that up, because that paperwork probably had a lot of emotions tied to it, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I still feel, 27 years later, I feel the negative energy that person felt when they got that.
Oh man,
kind of weird that's what they used as a bookmark, but hey.
Yeah, I would feel, just like you said, instantly bad for that person, even though it's years later. Got some great answers coming in, some great things that people found. Terry found a high school ring.
Wow.
No, that wasn't it. A Cedar Point keychain, which I'm not sure what this is. Do you know what a Cedar Point keychain is?
That's like a theme park, like a roller coaster park, right? Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
Am I right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Trisha
said a lot of fingertips here.
Yeah, take a look at that. Trisha says my husband found $200 in a Hello Kitty tumbler a while back. Oh man, you got to be feeling for those people who left their $200 in their cup and forgot to pull it out before they donated.
Yeah, Cedar Park is confirmed. Wimbles is confirming it too. It's a huge amusement park near Cleveland in Ohio.
Yep, there it is.
I think they're famous for their roller coasters, I believe.
That's awesome. Yeah, other than money, I think I've found of course you find like Kleenexes or things from people, or lint, or I'm trying to think of other things, a pen. Sometimes I'll find like the tag of the item, like that was attached to it. Kind of interesting, but nothing like worth noting.
Yeah, I found a pen fairly recently in a sport coat, but yeah, I can't think of anything else too weird. I'm looking around because I oftentimes will put stuff while I'm working. I'll just put it down in this pile over there that is probably, I don't know, I'm not very organized all the time with some things. I'm notorious for piles, and there's a pile of just like stuff and mail I'm supposed to open, and sometimes I'll throw stuff that I find over there, but I don't see anything that's sticking out.
Yeah, did you get that letter I sent you, or did it go to the pile?
I did not, if you sent me a letter, I did not open it. If you sent me an email or mail, I promise it has not been looked at.
Oh gosh. Well, Chris, we were about out of time, but let's go ahead and announce. You and I both know who's coming on the show next week, and we couldn't be more excited. We've got Emily Conway going to be joining us. She's a fellow YouTuber, a fellow reseller. She sells on a lot of platforms. She puts out a lot of content every week. I'm really impressed by what she's doing, and she's got sorry about that. She's got a family. So, I mean, she is super busy, but she's going to be coming on our show. So we're excited to have her.
Yeah, Emily is awesome. I think she's just one of the most real humans that's in this reselling game, who's also creating content, and she's just super transparent. And she talks about all sorts of stuff. Mental health is a topic that she brings up a lot, and just being kind of honest about where you're at as a human being, and that's something that I really respect a ton about her. She's got a big YouTube channel. She's got over 2,000 subscribers. She's got 225 videos up there. She's really consistent on TikTok. So you can look her up right now. You can go to YouTube and search Emily Conway and check out some of her content before you come to the show next week. And that way we can have a cool conversation with her, get the audience engaging with some questions. But and you'll probably get a little bit of her flavor, understand a little bit about like her brand and who she is. And I think you'll really like her.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to catch her perspective on reselling and life in general. So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's show. We've had a lot of fun. Hope you've enjoyed this show. As always, just like we mentioned, we'll be back next Thursday and every Thursday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. And don't forget, special guest Emily Conway. Looking forward to seeing you all. And thanks so much for tuning in tonight.
Peace, everybody. Take care. Thanks for joining.
We'll see you.